Topic 2.4 Three Visions for India. Introduction. This lesson is a part of a famous speech given by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In this speech, we'll see that Abdul Kalam has referred to the three visions for India, and he says that if we achieve these three visions, then only we're going to have a developed nation. Let's see these three visions. First is freedom, second, development, and third, standing up. Let's see each in detail. The first one is freedom. What does Abdul Kalam has to say about the freedom? He says in his speech that we have found that for 3,000 years, India has been invaded by many Britishers, Portuguese, and Dutches. They came to India, they destroyed the Indian culture, and they tried to impose their culture in India. But he also says that if we see, then what we'll find in the history that India has never invaded any country. And why? It's because we respect the freedom. And he's saying further that this freedom, where we got this feeling of this freedom, that is for the when we fought the war of independence. So that time we came to know about the freedom, and that time we started respecting the freedom of the others. So he's saying that if we don't respect our freedom, then one day this freedom will be taken away from us. So he's telling that we should respect this freedom. And if we respect this freedom, then only the people will respect it. It is like if we are not free, no one will respect us. Let's see the next vision. The next vision is development. Now, what he says about development in his speech, he says that our India for 50 years we are still in a stage where we are still called as a developed nation. We are still called as not as a developed, but sorry, we are called as a developing nation. So he's saying, why is that so? There are so many good things, there are so many achievements which we have achieved for last 50 years, but still we are standing in a position where we are still called as a developing nation. The one example he gives, that is GDP, that is the gross domestic product. He's saying that we are highest, or we are in the top five nations, or have so many developments. We are in the top five nations of the world, okay, in the terms of GDP. But even we'll find that our poverty level is also now falling. And not only that, but there are so many achievements which we have achieved for last 50 years. But still, we are in the developing nation. We have not yet achieved the title of developed nation. And he's saying the biggest reason for that is self-confidence. We lack in self-confidence. And if we have this self-confidence, then only we'll be able to achieve our goal, that is the developed nation. And he explains that more in detail in his next vision, that is standing up, his third vision, that is standing up. So in this, what he tries to tell is that we have to be strong. If we are strong, we are respected. He's saying that strength only respects strength. And if we stand up when there is any injustice done to us, if we stand up, then only we are going to be strong. And he's saying not strong just by military or by economic power, but strong from inside. It is strong from within. And if we are strong, then it will help to grow. And if it will help to grow us, then it will get the confidence. And if we get the confidence, that means we are developed. So he's saying all these things ultimately leads to only one thing, that is developed nation. And that is what his main topic or the main aspect of his speech is. That is, he want Indian people to be developed. He want India to be developed. Now, he further continues his speech by saying that he's saying that to achieve this developed nation, or to achieve this title of developed nation, there are few drawbacks which India is facing. And if we clear that, if we try to overcome that, then one day we will be called as a developed nation. So let's see the drawbacks. So the first drawback is media obsession. Now, what does media obsession means? So he says that says or he finds that in India the media is obsessed with negativity. We find that our newspapers are always filled with negativity. There is always negative, there is always bad. Okay, whenever you open a newspaper, the first page of the newspaper shows a bad happening and a bad disaster or something bad which has happened. Okay, he's saying that there are different achievements also which takes place every day. It is not like every day bad things only takes place. There is always a good thing also. But our media is always obsessed with the bad thing. He says he continues further his speech by giving one example, that is of Dr. Sudarshan. He says that this person, Dr. Sudarshan, he has converted a tribal village, a tribal village was always dependent on others, into a self-dependent village. Okay, where now they are, after his assistant, after his help, now they are not dependent on others, but they do everything on their own. So he's saying this should be there on the news, but this was never shown or highlighted on the news just the way the bad news are highlighted. The next example he gives about the different achievements which we have achieved. That is, the first achievement is we are first in the milk production, we are first in the remote sensing satellite, we are second in the world production of wheat, and we are second in the world producer of rice. He's saying these things are not so much highlighted. They are just come in a small heading in a small corner of a newspaper, and they are gone. This should be the thing he's saying that which should be highlighted. He gives one of his life experience about it, or one life example of it. That is, he says that one day when he was in Israel, that time there was a bombardment, or you can say many disasters were taking place in Israel. So when he got up early in the morning and when he took the newspaper, he was shocked. Why? Because on the first page he was expecting the news of this bombardment or what happened in that bombardment. All this news he was expecting on the first page, but no, there was not any news on of this on the first page of the newspaper. Instead, there was a news of a Jewish gentleman who as how he has converted a barren or a desert land into an orchid, that was being shown on a first page. So this was a motivational story. So he says that in Israel the people, okay, they start their day with a motivational story, as well as on the contrary, and you will see in India we start our day with a negative VT. So he's saying, why can't we take this from India? Sorry, why can't we bring this in India instead of bringing other things? We should take this idea and we should start our day. So he's saying this media obsession of bad things should be removed. This is the drawback which should be removed. One more drawback, or you can say the last drawback, is foreign things obsession with foreign things. He says that India is always obsessed or attracted to foreign things like foreign TVs, foreign clothes, and foreign technology. We are always attracted to what is imported. All the imported things which we get, we find it very good. As well as on the other hand, Indian goods are being neglected. Okay, we don't like Indian goods. Instead of, if we are told to if there's a choice given whether you want an Indian good or you want an imported thing, we find most 99% of the students or the people will move towards the imported things. Why? Because we are obsessed by it. And he's saying this is where the problem starts. If we go on buying the foreign things, that means we are giving more importance to them and less importance to the Indian goods. And this will lead to what? This will lead to lack of self-confidence. And when lack of self-confidence is there, then ultimately will not achieve the main goal, that is the developed nation will be always developing. Why? Because we don't have the confidence. And so he's praying that we must always work for the development of our country and we should achieve the goal which is still pending, that is we should be a developed nation. Thank you.